Welcome back. So the point of view tonight is dealing with Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, the man who arguably has the hardest job in the Mahama government. You can argue that out, but Musa Damka, for example, put on Facebook that his tracker shows that the issue that Mr. Mahama is having a headache over is Galamsey, and that falls squarely under his leadership. Of course, there's environment and others. So clearly, Galamsey is a big issue. Buah is staying. He's done about 6 big things: stakeholder engagement. He's changed the licensing regime, decentralized the fight, Tree for Life, river guards, and then policy change. Now, I have 5 things I think you should be doing. Now, look, prior to the election, everybody was saying government should declare state of emergency. I believe the NDC supported this. You've had 79 days in office. Why haven't you declared state of emergency?
We are treating the matter as an emergency matter. I've just told you. We are working on the clock 24 hours a day. The thing is that in a free society, even when there's crisis, you try to solve it without creating fear and panic. And that's what this government
But it's not a national state of emergency. I think that's the claim in September, October, which I believe you agreed with, was that state of emergency should be declared in specific areas.
I think we are.
And you agreed to that?
We are already doing it.
You have not?
Well, we have. I've just told you how did we in less than a month reverse 7 red to yellow. I'm just simply telling you that we have decided that these matters are matters of grave importance, and they are matters that must be dealt with all the urgency and emergency that it deserves.
Minister, state of urgency is not an adjectival clause. It's a legal term.
Yes.
You know more than I do. Article 31(1).
Yes.
It talks about things like curfews, restrictions of movement.
Who has the power to declare it?
The president.
Good.
With the support of parliament,
yes,
which you have a 2/3 majority.
This is what I know. The president is treating this matter as a top priority. But the president wants to make sure that the people of Ghana can be assured that he's on top of this.
So why has he opted not to declare the state of emergency?
I just told you, he's dealing with the issue, and we are making progress. And the people of Ghana can
That was not your view in opposition.
I'm just telling you what is important here. I don't know what was our view.
Well,
we told you we'll deal with the matter with all the serious.
In fact, one of your colleagues who's now a cabinet minister, he said that Mahama needs just 5 days to deal with Galamsey. Samuel George said it. It's on air. The video is there. You've seen it. So the point about declaring state of emergency was very clear.
Well,
you supported that.
I've just told you my strong views about this matter. This is a matter that must be dealt with as a matter that is urgent, and all the emergency measures must be put in place. And we are doing exactly
What is the fear?
What we don't want to do is to do a 6 o'clock announcement and tell the whole Ghana that a curfew has been declared.
But there's already curfew in Boku. The country hasn't stopped running.
But there's no curfew in the whole of Ghana.
Nobody says you should clear the whole of Ghana. Because mine is not being the whole of Ghana.
There's a lot of things at play.
No, but Minister, if you can declare state of emergency in Boku, where people are fighting, and the state of emergency is solving a problem. In fact, it is reported that in some of the places, the people doing the mining and their protectors are not from Ghana. So you can say that they are attacking our sovereignty.
As the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, I can tell the people of Ghana that we are dealing with this matter with all the emergency measures, all the urgency, the seriousness. And that's what...
Excluding state of emergency.
And that they can be assured that we'll be relentless and we'll make sure that we'll win this fight.
Are you facing resistance from your government about that? Because maybe you are not the Minister for Defense or Interior.
I just told you the support I'm getting from the President. And that is what keeps me going.
Okay, final point on this. Will you advise him? Because it's not your decision. Would you advise the President that for selected areas where the situation is red, that you will recommend state of emergency in some places?
I have told you the people. I think I won't announce my advice to the President in public.
Okay.
But I will tell the President all the important intelligence I get every day and the steps he should take so that he has the options to make.
Well, it's because you've asked the media and chiefs and everybody to support you. So sometimes we need to know what you do so we can help you.
Yes.
Because a lot of people believe that without a state of emergency, you cannot win the fight in some of the areas.
Well, I think it's noted. It's
Fair
noted,
enough.
But I believe that we are taking this as a matter of high priority.
Second point, in opposition, I was at the meet the press when the President Mahama at the time said, one of the reasons why he contemplates freeing illegal miners who are arrested is that they are the small fish, and that the big fish never get arrested or prosecuted. I was in that program. Again, in the 79 days, have any big fish been arrested?
A lot of. I think the last time we talked about arrests, we talked about over 60 something. I'm not sure of the number, but we've arrested a lot of people who are. The Attorney General is on top of these matters, and we are making sure that they go through the process. So far, we are making sure they are punished. And
we want names. Attorney General did a press conference yesterday and named people who he was still investigating. Well, so if you've arrested people who are big fish, give me 2 names.
I'm roughly 2 months in office, but I am sure that, and this is probably to serve notice to anybody who is powerful and think that he can be above the law. This government is determined, and we will get you, and we will arrest you, and we will shame you as well.
So have any big, when you say big fish, you mean somebody who's financing Galamsey?
This is some of the things that are very important. And this is the point you made is very serious. Listen, I talked about some statistics we have. Last year, 2024, 6.2 billion value, that's the value of Galamsey equipment, excavators that we brought into the country.
Yeah.
Obviously, those small guys in those districts will not have the money to buy these excavators. You know, one of the things we are going to do, and we are working on already, I know that there has been regulations on the movement of excavators, but we have to go the extra mile.
So what's your plan for that?
We are working with the Ministry of Transport. We are going to tackle it from the ports.
You are referring to this list. Diesel is number 1.
Yes.
Light oil number 2. Self-propelled bulldozers with 360-degree revolving superstructure. 6.2 billion. This is.
Which one is this?
The number 3 on the list of the top 10 imports last year.
Where is the excavators?
Number 3. Self-propelled bulldozers with 360
That's
degree.
correct. Can you imagine?
So are you going to ban it? The import, what are you going to do?
No, you can't ban it.
Why can't you ban it?
But because there are a lot of other activities that use.
You can say there's enough excavators in Ghana to be used for a while. You can do a temporary ban.
But the thing is that we have to put a system in place. Already, the Minerals Commission has a tracking program so far on experimental basis of 70 excavators that they are able to track in their using geofencing technology to track, and that is working very well. They know exactly 24 hours where that excavator is.
But that's just 70 excavators.
Yeah, but I said it was an experimental. How do we expand that? And how do we work with the DVLA, work with the Ministry of Transport to make sure we know every excavator and the owner who registered it? Because ultimately what we are saying is that working with the Attorney General and the Interior Ministry, if any excavator is caught in any illegality, we are not only arresting the person, but ultimately with this system we are putting in place, we are going for the big guys.
Pardon my apparent presumptuousness. If you have so many excavators in Ghana,
yes,
and you are also saying that we shouldn't ban excavators found in Galamsey, but we should confiscate for state reuse. Can't the government say between March and May, no importation of excavators because we have enough in the country to stem the inflow and then to remove the excavators from the illegal miners and resell it to those who need it for relevant use?
I think we've started some very serious engagement to really drill down to the bottom, and I think that we probably will get to some of these decisions, but we have not gotten there yet. What I know is that we are engaging and coordinating with the Ministry of Transport, with DVLA, and we are going to do that. I'm sure we'll get to the point where some decisions will be made to tighten the movement and the import of.
But you will not explicitly talk about even a temporary ban.
I think it's too early for me to be talking
because people are looking for precision. There's a lot of nice ideas, but because of the situation with Galamsey, people want to be precise. That you will say you will at least ban it for a period because it's the main tool they use in the kind of distraction we look at. Yes.
Now, sometimes when I listen to some of these things, I think you forget that we are 2 months or so in office.
And the goodwill is high, so you should do the difficult things early.
But
you do the difficult ones early. Because if in 3 years' time, you may not have the same goodwill.
Well, it won't be 3 years. I'm 2 months in office, and I'm just telling you that all of this is happening. We are engaging with the Ministry of Transport. Maybe the next time you bring me here, I will give you more data and tell you some of the things you are doing. But ultimately, we are going to tighten the imports. We are going to tighten the registration and the movement of excavators in this country.
I know 2 months is not too long, but again, do you know the most high-profile person arrested on Galamsey? The most high-profile person.
I probably cannot give you a name as I'm sitting here, but this is what I know. Everybody that has been arrested has not been let go because of his political connection or anything. I have not seen that. I have not seen it, and that to me is very important. And the other addition is that we have put everybody on notice, whether you are a top rank, that if you engage in illegality and you are caught, you will face the full rigors of the law. So
the other key thing people have asked you to do is to repeal LI 2462 in its entirety.
Yes.
Indeed, yes. I have a press release signed by a number of CSOs, Arocha, CASA, NDF, and the rest. Urgent call to address illegal mining and new and dedicated leadership needed for compliance and enforcement.
What
March 7. Below are our key recommendations. 1, revoke LI 2462 now. There is no reason why this law continues to exist in our statute books. LI 2462 must be revoked with immediate effect, and all mining concessions issued for forest reserves in Ghana revoked as well. They are not the only people who have said this. A number of groups have made the same point.
Do you know the most important concern in this whole LI that we were talking about was in the face of this crisis, in the face of the devastation, why do we keep giving people licenses to go and mine forest reserve? And that is the root of that problem. And so the key thing we did there was to make sure that we can basically amend the president's power. And the president has been forceful in giving out that power to say that let's amend that power in the airline that allow new mining in forest reserve. Now, these issues that have come up are very important. I'm sure the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology, the minister who is the lead person on this, is really taking note. And I think that he's very open to a discussion to look at the possibility of maybe sending a new LI. But these are things that can be done. But what is important is what we've done to take away the power to give.
But that was not the most important problem with that LI.
I'm saying to you that I am sure that these concerns that have been raised will be addressed. They'll be addressed.
But my point is that the LI was what opened the door, as you yourself said, from 2022 for our forest reserve to be invaded. And I do not believe that it was just the president's direct action that led to that.
No, that was the reason.
So
the real concern was, why are we giving more licenses in forest reserve?
But were the licenses given by the president?
Yes, the president, by extension, his delegation of power to the minister of Lands and Natural Resources, to basically sign and issue licenses, and the EPA issue licenses in forest reserve. And so once we take that off, that is gone. But all the concerns that have been raised, I'm sure will be taken on board by the Minister of Environment and Science and Technology.
Did he consult you in his decision?
We engaged together. We did this together. And I think that I supported him wholeheartedly, because this is the most important.
But again, I keep going back to what you said, not you personally, your party, because this is important. It's governance and credibility. You were for repeal of the LI. So why are you now amending?
Go back to the history. This LI came to Parliament.
Yeah.
When it came to Parliament for repeal, I remember why it came to Parliament. It came at a time close to the election where the government's back was on the wall.
Yeah.
And they had lost the fight, it was obvious. And as you said, this issue of Galamsey had engulfed them. They needed to do something. But when they came to Parliament, unanimously, on both sides, it was very clear that, but what are we doing? The real beef here is the amendment of that power to give licenses. Let's do away with that. That is why it was really not late. So the consensus was that we'll take it out and then come back with an amendment to take that power off. That's exactly what we are. But as a listening government, I'm saying to you that these concerns will be taken on board.
Because I've heard you say on another platform that two of the possible reasons why you chose the amendment route was that if the LI is repealed, the EPA cannot
and I was
intervene.
quoting the EPA.
But the EPA is wrong.
Well, I'm saying that these concerns will be taken on board.
Because the EPA already has the power to do what it's supposed to. It doesn't need this LI. You agree with that?
I'm saying that this government is very open, and we are going to take these concerns on board, and we're going to take a look.
And beyond the LI, people want you to ban mining in forest reserves completely.
That's exactly what we are doing. People won't have a chance to get a license. Anybody right now who goes into the forest reserve in any area to mine is illegal. Is engaged in illegal activity, and that is exactly what we're doing. By the way,
as we speak,
yes. By the way,
but they are there now.
By the way, this is a message to everybody.
No, but why are you sending them messages?
The message
isn't the best message to go and drive them out?
We are doing that. We are doing that.
Really?
We are doing that, and I'm telling you that in the coming days, you will see how determined and relentless this government is.
I mean, look, I don't want to sound like a broken record. Even yesterday, Galamsey update, Akwasi and Koko police. And again, this is Erastus. I'm reading this because it was quoted copiously. My deep digging has revealed this evening that though it is true that the youth of Akwasi arrested 2 Chinese miners and 3 Ghanaians and seized an amount of black gold, they handed them over to the police at the Akwasi police station, specifically to one CID called Owusu. CID Owusu was supposed to transfer all of them to Nkoko District Police for investigation. But for some strange reason, he only presented the 3 Ghanaians who were detained but left the Chinese. So is it true that the other 2 Chinese...
How does this take away the commitment of the government to fight Galamsey? We need to deal, if they are corrupt police officers, if they are corrupt police officers, they should be ready for the warning that the IGP has sounded. And I believe that this new IGP is going to be very drastic with this corrupt. These are facets of things that we have to fight with. This fight to win Galamsey includes making sure that every police officer who is in those mining areas is upright and is doing the right thing. But
that can take you years. It means that the reason people believe that this approach will not work.
Which approach?
Gradualist approach. Oh, we have to make sure the police comply. We will do this. The truth is that the system is so compromised that if you don't, if you don't show your seriousness.
We have been showing it.
In what way?
We have been showing it. And I'm just telling you some of the things we've done. Have you seen the number of arrests we've made? And have you seen the prosecution? For 8 years, 835
Which caliber of people are you arresting? You've not been able to tell me one serious person who's financing Galamsey who's been arrested.
Well, you should be asking the prosecutors and the police.
But it should be of concern to you.
I am.
Because that's at the heart of your
promise.
I'm
very interested in it.
You should know.
And very serious people have been arrested. But I don't think that it is my... I want to sit...
So here. Advise the AG to announce it.
To be announcing
if Galamsey,
names of people.
Minister, if Galamsey is important to this government, the Attorney General held a press conference 2 days ago and named people he was still investigating who had committed corruption. If Galamsey is a red issue, we expect your colleague Attorney General to be telling us who is being processed as the kingpin, because we are told to solve any problem, follow the money. We haven't had one.
Do you know how many people have been arrested and prosecuted?
What kind of people?
I'm simply telling you that almost the 70 people that within this short period have been arrested, they are all in the docket, and we are pushing to make sure they all are punished according to the laws. Those that must be deported are being done. Have you heard anybody being released because of some big guy? Have you?
No, we are talking about the big guy being arrested. The problem is not the release, it's the arrest.
I want the people of Ghana to continue to believe that we are determined to deal with this matter at all levels. And that's what we are doing.
Determination is great, but action is better.
The actions are on. And I'm saying to you that we've already confiscated over 60 excavators, arrested over 70 within this short period, and we are prosecuting them, and we are not stopping. We'll be relentless. And guess what? We'll arrest them, including NDC people who try us.
This is still the point of view. When we come back, we'll wrap up with a few key points with my guest minister, Armah-Kofi Buah, who is not just facing pressure here. Trust me, there's a lot of pressure online about the Galamsey fight. And I'll probably read a few of the stories for you to see the sense of desperation that's building on Galamsey. Stay with us.